We had a rig that was like built after a person, which we had before, like season 1 with the lateral canthotomy, with the eye being cut, the kid who got hit with a baseball.
That's right, yeah.
They built him a fake head, obviously, because we cut into the fake head. And so it was like him and his head, and he was like looking at himself. And it was so real. Like it was so real. So this year we had a fake rig that I thought was a real person. And everybody was ignoring him. And I was like, guys, like he's right. Like, stop being mean to this guy. And they were like, Shabana, he's not real. It was so embarrassing. Like that's how good the makeup work is. It's wild.
Yeah. Welcome to the Warner Brothers Lot. I'm Jonathon Buckley, and this is A Lot More. The Pitt is such a refreshing take on the medical procedural, and that's in no small part due to the stellar cast of medical students. One of those students is Victoria Javadi, played by the very talented Shabana Azeez, and she joins us today. Shabana, hi. I'm excited to be here with you because the show's amazing, as I'm sure you're aware of at this point in your career and life.
People are liking it. Yeah, it's really cool.
Your last year would probably be, I imagine, like a little transformative for you as a person.
Yeah, a little.
Just a smidgen.
Yeah.
What does it feel like looking back over 2025?
Looking back over 2025, oh my God. It was like it was wild in so many ways. Like obviously the show being so big is so exciting, and like I'm so grateful that like people are watching it and there's like an impact to the show, and like it's, you know, helping like people who work in the healthcare industry, and like that means the world that's like working, you know, like that the show's working. And then personally, I've never experienced that level of attention, or like my life changed a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a balance between like obviously these kinds of things, like if your life changes as much as mine has changed, like I moved across the world and this whole new place, like it's gonna change me. These things are gonna change me. But also I'm like, you can't change. Like you can't let it change you as well. So it's like a really interesting.
Is it slightly spooky as well sometimes? Does it get a little scary? Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Cautionary tales everywhere, yeah.
Well, it's just like, I just feel when you have such big change, it doesn't mean that anything bad is going to happen. I think it's all good. But sometimes when you experience big change, like I just had a little kid. I've had a baby.
Congratulations.
And it's a paradigm shift. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh. Now, not to equate that to what you're going through, but when you have these big life shifts like this, it can be a lot all at once. It can be a little overwhelming. And did you even have any idea when you signed on to the Pitt that this could be the path that it would take?
That's such a fascinating question. Congratulations on your baby. Very
Thank you.
exciting.
It's very exciting. She's adorable.
Oh, that's sweet. I knew the show was going to be good. I thought it was like a real like return to form, like return to like golden age of television kind of like story. The scripts were so good, and so not trying to be anything other than exactly what it is. Like really leaning into the medical jargon, really honest and raw and gritty and like not glossy, which I think is really exciting for an American show.
Yeah.
And so I knew it was going to be really good. I don't think I ever put together what that would mean for me personally. Like I don't think I've ever had work affect my personal life, which sounds so silly, but like I didn't really think, I thought the show was going to be really big and successful, but I didn't think that would have anything to do with me. And so now I'm here.
Well, and all of the responsibilities that you'd end up having outside of your work role as well, like you said, with all of this press that you now have to do, there's so much interest in you as a person. Like that's where I feel like it'd be such an interesting experience that you're going through right now.
Yeah, I think back home we call it a head fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So from Adelaide, Radelaide. Do they still call it Radelaide? I've been over here a long time, Radelaide. How did you find yourself auditioning for the Pitt? You were in Adelaide at the time, or
no? So I grew up in Adelaide, where there's like 7 people. And like 1,200 churches.
I was going to say city of churches.
Yeah. City of churches and murder capital.
No. Adelaide's... Wait, is that still from the body in the barrels thing, or the bodies in the barrels?
Yeah, maybe that data's not new, but that's still the story,
No,
right?
but I remember something like that. There was a guy putting bodies in barrels. And
Adelaide's a place.
It's a place.
And where in Tassie are you from?
I'm from a little town called Burnie. On the northwest coast, yeah.
I've never been to Tassie, and it's my dream to go.
You should go. It's a lovely place. I haven't been to Adelaide, so I do need to go there too. It's been on.
It's kind of like a little LA, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, like public transport sucks.
Yeah.
Gotta drive everywhere. It's like beautiful coast, the hills.
Also, you do a bit of like outdoorsy sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's nice.
Stuff. So it's not too big of a culture shock to come to LA, or is it?
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Yeah. Oh, season 1, the incubator of season 1, where it was just like normal LA, and then this Hollywood life has been like very obviously there's no comparison to that
gonna say.
in Adelaide.
So how just to go back, how did you find out about the Pitt?
I moved to Melbourne because obviously I'm from Adelaide, so you have to move to Melbourne because that's the rite of
I was
passage.
from Tasmania. I moved to Melbourne, and
That's the way to do it.
That's how you go.
And so I was in Melbourne, and I just got a tape from my manager. I'd like just gotten American management like a couple weeks before.
Wow.
This was my second American audition with him, and so he got me the audition, and we did it, and it was
good manager.
Very lucky. And he was really like, Shabana, like it's gonna be really hard to get a job. Like don't get like this is a 5-year slog of auditioning, and then we'll book something, and then take two, and we were like, great, that was really.
How has his reaction been?
He was like stoked, obviously. I mean, it was like so serendipitous and so lucky. And when I read it, I was like, oh yeah, this is like perfect for me. Yeah. Even though I'm like, I'm like 8 years too old to be playing the character, and like there's a lot of
Not at all.
Thanks.
Not at all.
I'll take that. I was like, all the things that need to work for it, and all the ways that I'm not quite right for it doesn't matter. Like, because it was a different ethnicity originally. Like, I was not. They really changed.
Oh, so you read the breakdown and you were like, probably this isn't one that I'm going to get, or.
Well, I was like, there's a lot that's not working here. Like, I'm the wrong age. I'm the wrong. Like I've got a lot, but I was like, the energy of this, like, really. I play a lot of like hyper intelligent characters, a lot of like characters that are paying attention, and I think the med students in season 1 are very much like audience proxies. Yeah. In that, like, a lot of my job was to look around and react to what was happening. That all the other doctors had already normalized to this crazy world. And it's
part of my favorite part of your performance is actually just watching you when something's happening, there's something crazy going on. I look at you for reference, and your reactions are hilarious. You're just wide eyed, like, oh god.
Yeah, but hospital's a crazy place.
It's a crazy place, and that's probably what I would be doing if I was standing there also. So those looks are a real bright spot in the show. And
thank you.
You have a background in comedy.
Yeah, I did with a friend. I did like musical comedy for a period,
right?
Which was a prank, and that got really out of hand. Like we didn't mean to do that.
Yeah,
but we did it for years.
Yeah,
and it started as a joke. Like I got to her house one day, and she'd like signed me up for raw comedy, which in Australia is like the way to become a comedian in Australia. And she just signed me up without asking me. She was like, "You can sing, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And we performed like 4 days later.
Yeah.
And we got to States for raw comedy. And then we just kept getting asked to do stuff. So we just kept doing stuff. It was really a wild ride.
Well, I think it shows in the Pit, because I know you're not intending it to be funny, but there are there are looks where I get a little chuckle, and I'm just like, that's kind of there's a little humor in just your reactions to.
Yeah, me and Garen get that a lot. He plays the other med students. So I think they were like looking for that energy for season 1.
Yeah,
and I remember like sitting. I shadowed all the directors, and I remember sitting at Village like with the director watching Garen's performance, and Garen was reacting to like a dying body in one take, and people at Village were losing it. Like, just he's so funny. It was like a real. Because sometimes I'll do like these really serious scenes. Like in Mass Casualty, I remember like breaking Sabria with my reactions to stuff.
Yes.
But I was like, people are dying, Sabria. Like, what's so funny? And she had this thing where she was like, you're like somebody like a chihuahua loose in a hospital.
Yeah.
Like, you're so cute and little. And
cute
let
and
this chihuahua in
adorable
here.
and wide-eyed, and it really is adorable too. We were lucky enough to talk to Sabria. She came in. She speaks very highly of you.
She's an angel.
You guys have become good friends.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Like,
it is important, I think.
I think so, because you relocated to Los Angeles. When did that? Was that obviously before the series started shooting originally?
Oh, like a couple of days before. Yeah.
A couple of days before. So pack the bags, and was it planning a permanent move, or you just were like, I'm just going to come and shoot
Airbnb, just flying by the seat of my pants.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I mean, past tense. I'm still.
You're still okay. So you haven't
figuring it
settled, and you're still finding your feet in LA.
Yeah, very much like me and my suitcase. That's what's going on now.
Okay.
Wherever the work is.
Do you go back home after?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, for hiatus gigs and other little bits and pieces and stuff. Because when I booked season 1, I had like a month to be on the ground here and get like a social security number and like the visa and all that stuff. And I had to like finish shooting 3 projects in that month as well, in different cities in Australia. So it was like kind of like there was no time.
Just a roller coaster.
Just like right. And I was like, and I need to learn an American accent right now.
I was just about to ask you about that.
Yeah,
because obviously performing and acting is challenging on its own, right? But then you've got performing and acting and having the layer of an accent on top of it. But then there's performing, acting with an accent and saying medical terms.
Oh my God, yeah.
how is that going?
It's you know what? It's going all right. I had a really beautiful moment actually the other day where like I went into this. I was shadowing the sound mix because I'm shadowing post production this season because I'm obsessed with the show. And one of the guys was like, "You're not American." And it made me like so happy that he was like, I didn't know you were.
It's a great compliment.
That in post production, there's no slips that they like think I'm American. It was like I was the happiest moment of my life.
I had no idea
stoked.
until I spoke to Supriya and she mentioned that you were Australian, and I was interesting.
It's the best compliment ever. But it means I have to stay in it all day.
Yes. Okay. Like, so you don't. So when you're off to lunch, you're keeping it going.
I'm keeping it. Yeah, all day.
That's way harder. So maintaining a conversation,
and that is
thinking
something
about what you're saying to the person whilst thinking about how you're saying it.
Yeah, and then like learning how to be. Well, actually, I think if you stay in it all day, you don't have to think about it anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like it becomes habitual. Your posture just moves, and then I'll be like at home at night and be like, get out of that accent, like stop. Or like doing press, and you're like, that's American. Like I need to get out of that.
Switch back.
That's not what I sound like.
Yeah.
But I think it's a strange thing when you start doing that of being like, what's my personality in American? Because you sound so different in an American accent. Like I train at the gym here at Warner Brothers and I...
Is it a good gym, by the way?
It's a great gym. Oh, okay. yeah, recommend it.
Okay.
Oh, they're all angels.
Okay.
Yeah. And, but it is sometimes a bit nerve-wracking because you'll be like training and then like the cast euphoria walks in or something, you know what I mean? And you're like, I don't need that. I don't need to be training around people that are that sexy. Like it's a bit much sometimes. But it's a great gym.
It's a great gym.
But I was like, sometimes I'll come in between, like I'll be shooting in the morning, so I'll just come right after, or I'll be like prepping for work and I'll come in to train before and I'll be in my American accent.
Yep.
And one of the trainers was like, oh my God, you sound like a different person. Like you're completely
totally different.
And Javadi's voice is quite high pitched too in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to slowly like see that sort of as she gets grounded and it becomes less in her head, like become like a bit deeper and like more grounded vocally.
Because season 1, you're a student.
Yeah.
Season 2, have you graduated?
Nah, still. I was MS4, MS3. I was third year med student season 1 and I'm fourth year now.
Yep. Okay.
But next year, if I'm back for season 3.
Well, judging by the awards last night, I would say good chance you'll be back.
Hopefully. I'd love to be back. Yeah, she would theoretically be further ahead. Next year she'd be an intern, which then she'd get a doctor badge.
Got you. Yeah. And I from obviously we're into season 2, and your mum's still a little bit of a thorn in your side.
Yeah.
She wants you to move into surgery. Is that what she wants?
Yeah, she does.
But you're sticking with the ER.
Well, I think Victoria this season is really going to like figure out what she wants to do, and I think that's complicated journey for a young person. Like figuring out what you want to do is scary. Yeah. For anybody.
Yeah.
She's under a lot of pressure, I think.
Well, and that's why, just to bring it back to you as a person as well, like I just think with all of the whirlwind, have you had a chance to digest it? There's a good chance, as you said, hopefully this will go on for many seasons. We spoke to Scott and he was saying, I'd love this to go on for, as long as we can. Do you have a hope for a timeline of seasons for you? How many seasons would you like to do? Oh, yeah,
completely. I'm not answering that question. That's I'd love to do
I'm going to cap it at 3.
No, I'm like so happy to be here and I love the show and I love the vibe and I love the ways that the work is challenging is fun in terms of like the medical jargon and the intensity and the choreography and all of that stuff I love, and like the continuity and doing background work, like that's challenging in fun ways that I really enjoy. And then it's easy in ways that I enjoy. Like we're shooting chronologically. It's such a privilege.
To be able to shoot and keep the energy sort of flowing.
Yeah, to know exactly where you were before like I know exactly how that past scene played out. I know exactly how that other actor played it.
Yeah.
I know how angry he was. I know how sad he was moving into the next scene. Like that's really great. Or that's a privilege you don't get in other shoot contexts. And so like, and then the people are so great and they're giving me like a free film school. Like, John Wells is letting me watch everything, like post-production, pre-production, production. I've shadowed everything.
So you say film school, you mean that just kind of like as
I mean that like all the department heads have let me.
You can go in and poke. Is that something that you have a deep interest in some of the behind the scenes as well?
Yeah.
Really?
They've all been incredible.
Okay.
All of them.
So do you have plans, maybe yourself as you move forward in your career, to have some projects that you're planning?
Yeah, and I had this really beautiful moment this season, actually. Our new director, Uta, who's incredible. I was talking to her about indie films and how I'd seen this indie film at South by this year in Austin called American Sweatshop, which is like incredible. And it changed, it's like I don't know if you've seen it. It's really
I haven't
good.
seen it. It's good.
It's really good. And it it's disgusting and visceral and like stuck to me. And it made me realize that I want to make movies that like ruin your day but make your year. Because it ruined my day. Like I had to go home after watching that movie. I was like, no parties. We're canceling everything. We're going home. We're going to sleep
what do
this
you
off.
mean it ruined your day? Like how did it?
It's like really psychologically messed
Okay.
with me.
So you want to make some psychologically
I want to make, I want to make challenging things.
challenging.
And so I was talking to Uto about this. I was talking about this film I'd seen and like I didn't tell her what it was called, but I was like, that's what I want to do. And she was like, oh, my indie just came out and it's coming out in theaters. And I realized that she is the director of American Sweatshop. And I'd watched her film and she's like directing me in the Pit now. And it was like, I cried to her for like 20 minutes. And we had this
Just like, right, so
bonding
what do we
moment.
do?
But like that kind of thing keeps happening on the Pit where it's like the people that come in here that I get to learn from are like people that I really want to learn from and have for so long. Like these people made The West Wing. These people made, like ER. It's like huge to be here and get to learn from them specifically.
Must be so surreal. And I still get this every time I come onto the lot. Just coming onto the lot is like, oh, this is such a storied place. It's such a cool
The
area.
people that have made things here and like the
stories that have
infrastructure.
been told. Yeah.
Especially being from Australia where like I think culturally we're a younger country. And so we haven't quite found our feet, I think, in terms of like what is our cultural identity? What kind of art are we making? What's popular in Australia? Like it's a really interesting thing as like we're sort of like a budding culture, I think, back home. And so making stuff there versus making stuff here is a really different experience, even in like the air.
Yeah.
Like it feels different.
So is there a difference in the work as well, like the day-to-day? Have you noticed any difference between the way things are shot here? Obviously, the Pit's unique, but
the Pit's super Aussie, I think, actually. The Pit's a super Australian set for America.
Gotcha.
In terms of, like, I think there's a lot of segregation between, like, cast and crew in America. And it doesn't really exist in Australia. Like, in Australia, you'd all go to the pub together on a Friday night with the cast and crew, and we do that here. Like, everybody's just sort of friendly.
So you guys are social outside?
Yeah. Because we're working together all the time and there's not that separation of like, the actors come in. Because the set's pre-lit, I think is predominantly why this happens, is that we're not coming in, rehearsing, leaving and B team is lighting while the crew works and then we come in. Because then what happens is with the actors, whenever the actors are on set, the crew is silent.
Yeah.
If we're rehearsing, the crew isn't talking. You know what I mean? And then when we're shooting, the crew isn't talking.
Yeah.
In the lighting and in the making and in the prepping of all the stuff, that's where the social stuff happens, right? Like between cast and crew. So that's really able to happen on the Pit in a way that it isn't maybe able to happen on sets that are other sets.
That is something for like the uninitiated. So when it's like when you're talking about pre-lighting, that the whole set is lit in a set way because it's a hospital, right? So
and all of the lighting's integrated.
Yes.
In ways that are incredible. And I've only worked on an integrated lighting set once in Australia on Utopia. I don't know if you know what Utopia. It's like that. It's an Australian sitcom. It's like Working Dog. It's like quite iconic. I love them. But like they also do this thing where they have all the lights set in the office already. And so you're not moving lights. Yeah. Sometimes we'll have like held lights next to the camera and the cameras are rigged with like little lights.
So they can just give you just a little extra for the eyes. Gotcha.
But everything is like the set is lit and the different colors, like they can change the colors and the tones. And then we have proper lighting for like the trauma rooms, which I'm sure like that's like featured lighting. Yep. And then we've got lighting even in like all the screens, like the brightness of the screens. In the set.
So they're all adjustable.
Yeah. And like the warmth of them too. It's really, and so like that's why like, especially for different skin tones, like being like a brown woman, it's like lighting me is very different to lighting like Noah. And so like to have us both in the same scene but both be well lit. Usually you'd shoot my coverage and you'd light me properly and then you'd shoot his coverage and you'd light him properly. And there'd be very different lighting setups for those two skin tones. Yeah. But on the Pit, we don't have that. And so it's having the lights work for everybody at the same time and like it's really
does it speed up the whole process? Like, dramatically.
So we shoot a lot in a day. Yeah.
When it comes to then obviously learning your lines for if you're shooting faster and quicker, you've got a lot more homework to be done.
Yeah, and it's no scripts on set. So usually on a shoot you'd get like sides every morning, right? Like you get like a little A5 thing of all the scenes you're doing that day. None of that.
So you can't just wait until right before your shot to just...
And you can't bring your scripts to set either. No.
Interesting.
Some people break that rule, but I'm scared.
I would be too. Do you find that challenging or better?
No, I like it. I think it's important.
Way?
Yeah, but also because accent, you don't want to be like sloppy.
That's true.
And then also because choreography, like you don't want to get into a trauma room and be doing like shears and cutting and holding this heart and massaging this brain and whatever the fuck, and not know your lines yet. Like that's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah.
especially because, and then we'll start like, you know, when you're shooting, you don't always start from the start of the scene.
Yeah.
You start, sometimes you're going to go from this random bit in the middle to this random bit in the middle.
Yeah.
And you've got to know what part of the choreography you're on.
Yeah.
On that line. And so you've got that to learn in the moment. So you can't be learning your lines also.
Right.
I find. I'm like a crazy person. I need to learn my lines like a week before. I'm like obsessed. Yeah.
Do you get queasy? Do you get queasy with all the stuff? You're fine with all
love
that?
it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was watching it, the first episode the other night, and I was looking at the detail of the chest cavity that was open, and I was like, wow, there is some detail in there. I've seen some things in my life. I'm like, that is like, do you guys get to just play around with that stuff? It's a stupid question, but yeah, you're like, well, do you get to play around with it before you?
No, purely because of the paint, which I didn't know that like all these things are like, it takes so long to paint these fake hearts, paint the skin and paint these. So if you like rub on it too much, the paint comes off.
Okay, so it's kind of like food preparation for commercials. It's got to look exactly or just perfect.
You don't want to get too much in those rigs. You want to be respectful in the makeup. And the makeup artists are all there. Like, you know, when you're like touching it, you want to be, because it's such expensive, beautiful, detailed work.
Yeah.
Like to the point of where we had a rig that was like built after a person, which we had before, like season 1 with the lateral canthotomy, with the eye being cut, the kid who got hit with a baseball.
That's right, yeah.
To the face. They built him a fake head, obviously, because we cut into the fake head. And so it was like him and his head, and he was like looking at himself. And it was so real. Like it was so real. So this year we had a fake rig that I thought was a real person. And everybody was ignoring him. And I was like, guys, like he's right. Like, stop being mean to this guy. And they were like, Shabana, he's not real. It was so embarrassing. Like that's how good the makeup work is. It's wild.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I get the sense that just from the people that I've spoken to that it's a really well-run set.
Yeah.
That everyone seems to be getting along famously. Do you have a favorite person on set?
Oh, I love obviously Sabria and I are really like
there's someone
close.
That's close, yeah.
And like Seppi's new this season, and she's been like a great addition, like really like has immediately become like a mentor and like a really kind, warm, safe presence. And Issa too, like Issa plays Santos, and she like really took me under her wing last season where I'm so new to this world, and she grew up here. And, you know, like she's been like in Hollywood for a long time. And so she was somebody who I would like go to for advice all the time. And she was like so generous and good with me. Like I really feel like a lot of the people have been really giving in that way, being like, I feel like last season I was like a little lamb. Like I was like, what's happening all the time? It was such a foreign world to me. And set makes sense to me. Like set is, you know, familiar, but like the world around it and all the events and stuff have been like really a different world to Adelaide where I grew up.
Yeah, you have your adjustment here is got to be huge. And you know, as someone who's done the same thing, it took me a while to figure it out. So it can be really challenging.
And it's a gift to do it with people, I think, that get it and then can give, you know? Yeah.
Last question about Javadi. Last season, she had a little crush on Mateo.
Yeah.
She still have a crush on Mateo?
Well, that's to be seen.
Oh.
In the edit. We've shot some fun stuff. I think there's something really beautiful about that like dynamic too, like her and Mateo. I think that it's really rare to see interracial relationships with like two people from two different places that aren't like one of them isn't white. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's these two people of color from very different places, from very different cultural backgrounds, and you're talking about their cultural backgrounds.
Yeah. And
so like I think we see that very rarely on TV, and I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, they don't tell me these things. I don't know what's like going to be in the cards for her and Mateo, but like I think it's really sweet. I also think though that Javadi is like very young and like learning who she is, and I think she's going to date around and like have her fun when she has time.
She's got a bright future ahead, and she's got a lot to explore as well.
She's got a lot to explore, and I think she just loves a cute guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we were just talking about this a second ago before we came on. Is she somewhat of a social media influencer as well?
She is.
I'm gathering there's a little things dropped in here about her. She's active on social.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited for that storyline because I think it'll like play with people's expectations. I think people hear like young woman on social media and they think, oh, like influencer. Like I think it's a way to not take her as seriously as you would otherwise. I think it's like a lot of gendered connotations to social media in that way and influencing in that way. And I'm excited for that to be like explored.
I am too. I feel like you've got a lot of backstory for your character.
I do.
I feel like you've got a long sort of runway with her?
I think so. When I actually booked the role, I like planned out like 5 seasons for her.
Okay.
In my own not obviously I don't know what's going to happen for her story, but like for myself, because I think like for me, for Javadi, not for me, but for Javadi, it's a coming of age story. She's so young. She's the youngest of like the original cast, and so like there's a real opportunity to show like a big transformation, like a growing up, you know. And so I didn't want to have that all play out in season 1.
Gotcha.
Did
you get a backstory? Is that something that people do in the biz?
We did like a meeting.
Character backstory?
Yeah, we did this really sweet meeting. Like we were all paired up in little groups, and me and Issa went together. And so I got to hear Sandos's backstory, and she got to hear my backstory.
Yeah.
And it was just like John Wells and Scott, the showrunner, and we, they told us what. And it was really sweet actually, because I decided to pitch something to them. I was like, I'm going to go to this meeting and I'm going to pitch that she's like, I didn't know Mateo existed at this point.
Okay, yeah.
Nobody had told me about Mateo. Like that wasn't in my character brief, the romance sort of like element. Her like, but I was like, guys, I went up to them and I was like, I really think that this character is really like living in a fantasy world. Like her life that she has is not like, she's living somebody else's dream basically, and like working toward her mother's dream, and she's not really being her own person. And I think she really loves, like, she lives in a fake world and she's like up in the air. And I think that romance might be a really great place, like glossy American TV shows. And like that was the kind of thing I was watching to be like, that's, I think, her energy. And I think she may not have a romance plot, but I think she's really engaged with romance as an idea. And they were like, yeah, bang on the money, kid. Like, you've got a character, his name's Mateo, and like told me about him.
Don't
and
worry,
so, like,
I got this.
It was so like, it was so exciting to be like, oh, I think that was like my first moment of being like, oh, I've been cast right.
Yeah,
like this is going to be okay. This is going to be good. Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to work out. I'm super excited to see the progression of Javadi.
Thank
and I'm
you.
super excited to see your progression as well. And, you know, welcome to LA. And
Thank you.
I'm really just, I'm excited for you and for everything that's coming your way. It's
and
really,
I'm excited
really
for
cool.
you, fatherhood.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, I'll sleep one day. It's okay.
Yeah. In 2028.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. It's been
Thank you
great.
so
Cheers.
much.